Bavaria is one of the largest and most modern shipyards in the world for sailing yachts, motor yachts and cruising catamarans. Each Bavaria has its own specific mold, to which a strong coating of gel coat several millimeters thick is first applied in the spray room. The gel coat is injected in several layers by the yacht spraying robot as it operates to the exact millimeter. Once the mold has left the spray room, the laminating of the hull can begin. Fiberglass mats that are typically used in the production of textiles are now cutted individually into exact patterns to match the model they are intended for. For each Bavaria, the design and production team prepares a specific load profile. Taking this as their basis, they then produce a lamination plan detailing the arrangement of the fiberglass mats in the mold and laminate it on in several work steps. The enormous forces pounding against the hull of a sailing yacht have to be cushioned and deflected. And the key to achieve this is the stable floor section, which masters these forces on a Bavaria yacht. It is fitted into the hull to the exact millimeter and then glued firmly to it over a large surface area. The mast support guides the rig forces into the strengthened floor assembly. In addition to the stable floor section, a solid main bulkhead laminated into the hull provides further rigidity later on. Isophthal acid resin is used in the outer layers to achieve maximum quality. It provides highly effective protection against osmosis and ensures that the hull has a long life. As soon as the resin has hardened, the hull is carefully removed from the mold. A computerized CNC milling machine then drills the bore holes to the exact millimeter for the outboard connections, as well as for the exact fitting to the deck and the precise milling of the windows in the hull. In order to be able to automate all of these stages, Bavaria already developed its own high-tech system a number of years ago, one that is still unique in the yacht and boat building industry today. Like the hull, the deck of a Bavaria also consists of a high tensile but light sandwich construction with foam inlays. The upper and bottom shells of the deck are laminated in different molds. Before the deck shells can be glued to each other, the cable ducts are laid and other important installations are added. After this work is completed, the adhesive cement is sprayed on in a complex specialized process. The upper and lower decks are then slowly and carefully fitted together to the precise millimeter and firmly attached to each other. Using the CNC milling machine again, the final edgings are cut with maximum precision in the required shape and set in the places marked for the bore holes, which will be needed later on for connecting the fittings. In the storage area directly behind the deck fitting section, all of the fittings are assembled for use in the various yachts and taken directly to the shipbuilders to fit them to the decks. The deck is reinforced with aluminium at the points where the fittings will be connected later on. Each and every Bavaria is unique and different. Teak decks are manufactured separately for each yacht and permanently glued to the deck in a vacuum process. The cleats, hatches and all the fittings have their set place on the deck, and the shipbuilders know every exact hand movement when it comes to fitting them. Before further fittings can be installed in the hull and the deck connected to the hull, each sailing yacht has its motor fitted. The motors are filled with all the fluids at the manufacturers to the required levels and tested there. And with the yacht's just-in-time production system, the motor is ready for fitting at the production line exactly when it is needed. Likewise, the optional bow thruster is installed and fitted at this stage in the production. From the tree trunk to the finished cabin, all of the wooden elements in the yachts are manufactured directly in the yacht's own joinery by its woodwork specialists. And when it comes to processing and finishing the wooden parts for a yacht, the yacht can look back on more than 30 years of skilled craftsmanship in this area. The state-of-the-art computerized machines and robots in the joinery always guarantee consistently high quality with the interior finish. Already when the various parts are being cut, care is taken to ensure that the wood grain in the walls, lockers and doors will all match each other later on. To achieve this, all of the elements belonging together are cut from the same sheet. The ultra-modern milling machines guarantee that all of the wooden parts fit exactly to each other later on. Robots then sort out all the processed parts for further workmanship. The handrails and the edges of the lockers and tables are made of solid wood. With such attention to quality, the Yacht has gained a reputation in the trade press for supplying the best interior fittings and finishes for yachts worldwide. After the parts have been cut, they are varnished 6 times in the Yacht's dedicated varnishing facility, with the result that they all have high-quality, hard-wearing surfaces. At the end of this process, the finished teak, mahogany and oak wood cabins, galleys and bathrooms in the joinery are ready for fitting. And depending on the type of wood used, all of the other facings and elements are color-coded to match them. Here's where the boat builders really show their visual acumen and know-how in every single detail when it comes to the various types of wood used. At Bavaria, the yachts are assembled on a total of 4 production lines. In this way, a new sailing yacht is created section by section on the lines. At each stage of the process, a separate team of specialists are responsible for the work. Each team is in charge of their own quality control, which guarantees consistently high quality. The components already made in the joinery are now fitted directly into the yacht using a crane. The floor section added in advance ensures that each bulkhead fits in its allotted place to the exact millimeter. Here at Bavaria, all of the bulkheads are laminated to the hull, with the solid main bulkhead providing additional rigidity. It even has a thickness of 30 millimeters in yachts more than 45 feet long. This ensures that the hull and deck together have an extremely high level of additional stability later on. Doors not opening when sailing or floorboards creaking on the ocean. Such things just do not happen in a Bavaria yacht. In order to ensure that the hull has a robust surface able to withstand damp and mechanical wear, and that on the inside as well, all of the storage lockers and accessible surfaces are sealed with top coat. Quite a number of lines and cables are required to supply the water and power to a yacht. The engineers and production teams need to spend a lot of time and all of their experience to ensure that these complex systems are installed in such a way that servicing them later on is smooth and trouble-free. One of the most important moments in the construction of a yacht is when the finished deck is placed on the hull. A great moment for the new sailing yacht, but routine work for the shipbuilders at Bavaria. They fit the larger parts to each other perfectly to the exact millimeter. The deck and hull are glued to each other and then even screwed together. The hull and deck windows are then installed in the yacht. Extreme care has to be taken to ensure that the windows are completely glued to the deck across the complete surface. Parallel to this, the canopy is installed in the saloon and the floorboards are added. At Bavaria, they are set on a special framing system that is fitted to the floor section, which represents a real increase in quality of yacht construction today, as it also prevents annoying creaking of the floorboards. At the end of the production line, the keel is fitted. This is a further important moment as it requires highly precise workmanship and a lot of experience. Extremely strong keel bolts guarantee a force fit between the hull and keel. The yacht uses twice as many keel bolts than normal in its yachts, proving yet again that safety and high-quality standard fittings are part and parcel of each and every Bavaria sailing yacht. A Bavaria is only ready when a green flag is fluttering on the stern of the new yacht at the end of the production line. This means that the quality control team have finished their work and not found fault with any aspect of the new boat. And the quality control team are extremely diligent, checking each and every detail precisely. If the controllers do find a flaw or defect, this is marked and immediately recorded in a comprehensive checklist. Even the most minimal of flaws are noted and rectified. The first contact a Bavaria yacht has with water is in the yacht's testing pool. Even large yachts up to 56 feet and with a flotation depth of up to 4 meters can fit in the testing pool. As soon as the engineers, shipbuilders and quality control team are satisfied with every single aspect, the new Bavaria yacht is prepared for transport to the customer or dealer. Bavaria has a network of dealers who operate on a global level and are based on every continent across the globe. A new yacht is transported by truck, either directly to the dealer who ordered it or taken to a port of departure for shipment overseas to its final destination. Well packed to ensure no damage occurs, it soon reaches its new owner.